But you know who, but you know what isn't a 93-hour long game? I didn't click it fast enough. Well, shit. Wait for it. Where is it? Oh, it's downloading content. What the fuck is it downloading? Alright, anyway, but you know what isn't a 93-hour long game? Why is my taskbar? Either way. Maitetsu. It's not Hachidoku this time, it's Maitetsu. Discord just chatting. I was doing an intro! Fuck off! What the fuck is incest? A sinful / smut drawing of to relatives. Guy 1. Did you know about Guy 3's newest incest? Guy 2. Ew, yeah, it's disgusting. Is that even English? No. A sinful / smut drawing of two relatives. Okay. Either way. Last time we played through, we Hibiki. Look. Why is the light in my kitchen on? You got a ghost in your house. Last time some Hibiki stuff happened, right? I kind of forgot everything that happened because of the CG. That's in the thumbnail of the last VOD. But, you know, that's beside the point, right? Whatever. What if a lolly ghost showed up in my house? I would welcome them. Okay. Either way, let's don the appropriate attire. That's not. And let's get into it, shall we? I may or may not have forgotten to turn off the music.
Sotetsu-sama, まだです。まだもう少し。
I don't feel impatient impatient at all. Following Hachiroku's direction will allow me to stop exactly at the right spot.
今です。自弁、運転。
自弁、運転。
With the brake pressure gone, 8620 decelerates from its own weight and friction. Speed at 0. On the side of the driver's window, I see the stopping position marker.
上出来です。8620、帝国通り、湯の井駅着。
短弁、カンブレーキよし。逆転機、ミッドギアよし。
After confirming the stop, I start to see the surroundings.
ご苦労様です。来たばい、来たばい、来たばい。なぎちゃん、唾飛んだよ。
The familiar faces and many more unfamiliar ones.
おお、ここまで走るようになったか。
Oh, who could forget Old Man on the Platform?
生きてるうちにまた動く蒸気を見れるとは思いませんでしたね。
Or Old Woman on the Platform. I murmur amongst the crowd, and a passionate one at that. Yeah. platform on Unoi Station has about 50 people.
聞いていたお話よりいくらか規模が大きくなっているようですね。
Pushed to her maintenance body, Hachiroku descends from the cab and slowly looks at from edge to edge of the platform. In a voice with suppressed emotion to me, it sounds as if she's angry or disgusted.
そうですよね。
While saying that, she bows while it lowers her head, as if she were sorry.
ちょっと耳いいですか？
Paulette's mouth to Hibiki and my car, a circle of whispers.
話がどんどん広まっちゃって、それで鉄道祭買ってくださった方はどうしても断れなくて。
In my ear, I mean.
ああ、それはそうだな。スポンサーの意向ということになるものな。
それで、ですからできればですけど。
I know that they all wanted to be here, but that is why I can't carelessly agree.
ともかく客車を見てみよ
う。When we suggest it, people start to move all at once.
いよいよこれから客車見に行くみたいわい。ナギちゃん、ついていっちゃって大丈夫なの？
The crowd starts to move all together. Word got out. That reason is now happening in real time.
ニーニ、すごいかね。
Wait. Word got out. That reason. Okay, yeah.
何がだ？
何ってこぎゃんとたくさんの人。鉄道なんて誰も興味ば持っとらんかったのに。
ああ、そうか。そうだな。
Yeah, but you know, the train otakus like the train otakus all came out of the woodworks. They came out of their dens to see the train. I was so focused on Hachiroku's stern face and my desire for trouble prevention, but why do your rules say no leaks in all caps? Because I used to be a Genshin streamer, and now that Genshin doesn't work on my computer, I play visual novels. She's right. The fact there are so many people here is the proof of the fruits of our labor.
仲間なのだな、この方たちも。
Like, the worst leaks are when a new region is about to come out, right? Natlan's about to come out. 4.8 is dropping in a few days, in literally next week, right? And then 6 weeks after that is 5.0. And there's a lot of leaks already about 5.0 and Natlan characters, right? And of course, people on Twitter are mad that they're white. I can't really blame Hoyoverse for that. I could really only blame China, the Chinese government in that aspect. It's the same thing with how much they have to censor the characters, right? They fucking they nerfed Rosaria's proportions, right? There are no such things as swimsuit skins anymore in Hoyo games. Because people complained, or well, someone complained that they paid for a swimsuit skin in Honkai Impact 3rd, and then it came out for free, and then they complained to the Chinese government, and now swimsuit skins won't exist anymore in Hoyo games. Unfortunately. But, you know.
響と相鉄様の言う通りですね。
Hachiroku's voice has softened, and in the next moment, I finally realize it. After the accident, this is the first time Hachiroku will be carrying other passengers. I hate the CCP. Yeah, everyone does. When Paula asked me to pledge support, she wasn't just talking about Hibiki. It was a close call, but I'm glad I realized it. Beyond the stern face of a drill sergeant, Hachiroku is still afraid of her memory of the accident and is actively fighting it. What about me? Am I alright? I'm not shaking. Not my body or my heart. The memory of the accident is veiled by reality. It makes me think that I can do this.
どうぞ、これです。あ、
Wood. That is what affects my senses in terms of sight and smell. The passenger car has a nostalgic feel to it. My fear is non-existent right now.
いいんじゃない。写真よりいい。かなり。あり。
Look, Hoyoverse tried to work around it by releasing more skimpy skins exclusive to the global market, right? Excluding China, unfortunately. But, you know, that kind of led to the CEO almost getting assassinated. So, we're never gonna get swimsuit skins anymore. Well, I am, because Dexter and you don't play Genshin.
目に見える痛みはなさそうですね。あとは引いてみてどうか。
I nod to both Hibiki and Hachiroku's words. If towing it's fine, then I'm sure it can be used as a tourism passenger car. Paulette's amazing. She managed to find this, or rather, she didn't give up until she found this.
これが客車バイ？かわいいかわいい。なぎちゃん、勝手に入っちゃって大丈夫なの？
With Nagi and Fukami also here, the other people start to rush in. Paulette did try to stop them. I could see her with her hands together, looking very sorry.
ならば試そう。実際、弾いてみてどうかを。
そうですね。
Hachiroku nods with a serious face. Her eyes look straight at the other edge of the platform.
相鉄様、手順は大丈夫でしょうか？
うん。
First, I'll have to push the passenger car 8620 to the triangular junction. After pushing it there, I'll need to disconnect the passenger car and go turn around only 8620.
そっか。そしたら8620をパックさせて客車と再連結で、客車には前も後ろもないから。さようですね。そのまま8620を前進させれば、列車はお人よ温泉駅へと向かうこととなります。
Hachiroku's smile means we've passed her test. Now all that's left is to move.
ポーレット、一旦は客車から全員を降ろしてくれ。
はい、わかりました。
In one smooth motion, Paulette straightens her posture.
いよいよですね。
ああ、客車を見つけてもらえたおかげで、ここまで来れた。
A slightly surprised voice. Paulette's slender lips start to move, as if she's looking for the right words to say.
ここまでみんなで来れたから ここから先へも相鉄くん、どうかみんなを連れて行ってください。
そうできるよう、最善の努力を重ねよ
期待してますね。
Her smile turns into a serious face. She brings her elbow close, lined up her fingers neatly, and then brings it to her forehead.
良い乗務を。
う。ありがとう。
I salute to her in imitation, so I also straighten my posture. Here it comes. I get up to the cab of 8620 and pull up Hibiki.
ありがとう、ニーニー。
硬くなるなよ。訓練通りにやればいいんだ。
I try to calm Hibiki as her palms are sweating. Knees weak, arms are heavy. And I also tell myself that.
その通りです。相鉄様、響。決して焦らず、私の指示を信じてください。
She switches her tablet into a smaller operating body, making her all the more reliable.
無論だ。86、よろしく頼む。
こちらこそです。相鉄様、響。どうぞ、よろしくお願いします。
Hatsuroku's tiny hand stretches out. She confirms the signal and then calls out on a bright and determined voice. In a bright and determined voice.
出発進行。
Blunk.
高見ちゃん、危なかばい。
Nagi catches Fukami. It just jerked pretty hard right now. The reason it shakes that much is because
連結器を伸ばしきらんうち、速度をつけすぎてしもうたの。
now he is no longer on the platform, so he is just old man. Amazing. These people are the ones Paulette still... Wait. Are the ones Paulette said understood the circumstances. Yeah, I told you, they're train otakus, alright?
連結器が何ばい？
Coupler. Yeah, it's the thing that connects the train to the rail. Yeah.
伸びきってないうちにとかなんとか。ですね。それはですね。
Nagi and Fukami don't know too much about the railways. That's why Reina will teach them.
連結したとき、連結器はガシャーンってなって一番奥まで行っちゃうのです。
If her thumb wasn't there, she would be implying something else. Reina's right thumb and index finger. Reina's left thumb and index finger. Reina makes a ring with the two and tries to stick them together.
なんで3指が連結器と？そうだよ、なぎちゃん。勢いよく連結すると指の輪っかが両方とも重なるみたいになっちゃうんだ。
That's right. The state is when the connector shrank.
本当は縮んでるのをゆっくり伸ばして、それで出発がいい出発です。
And why does Reina know this? When Hatsuroku should know this. Reina doesn't need a passenger car for her train. She is the passenger car. So why does Reina know what a coupler is? With the overlapped fingers, Reina tries to move with just the right hand. When the right and left fingers touch, The left hand gets pulled by the right hand.
そっか。それならガクンってならない。でも連結器が縮んでるのにスピードを出して出発しちゃうと。
Rana puts the finger rings together again and moves the right hand faster. Plunk. The rings bump into each other harder. That hurt Rana a little. What?
わかった。連結器が伸びきってないとそれで衝撃が来ちゃうんだ。けど連結器同士がぶつかるくらいでガクーンってあれほど揺れようと？それはですね、連結器の向こうにはレイナたちみんなが乗ってる客車があるからですよ。あ、わかったばい。人と客車とで合計すっごく重かったばい。そうなのです。だからそろって出発しないとガチャンでガクーンになるのです。なるほど。なるほど。
They really did this so that they could explain couplers. Look, Hachiroku should have known not to speed up, right? She already knows about all of this, but they needed to make this mistake so that Rana could explain to Nagi and Fukami and the people who are playing the game who don't know anything about trains, aka most of the people playing this game, how couplers work. I mean that's a lot of things in this game, but that's like, you know. That's good. Seems like both of them understand now. And then she turns to the camera, and so does the audience playing the game. Yes. It's much better now. Aside from the first part, Sotetsu was driving it well.
話してるうち駅を遠くに出ちゃっとるばい。ほんと。っていうか、気にならないで話せるくらい、この客車、揺れないで走ってくれてるんだね。
Hihi, that's right, Fukami. Hachiroku, Sotetsu, and Hibiki are really good at driving. What? Nagi starts looking around. It's like she's looking for someone.
あれっていうか、レイナ一人とポーレットさんどこにもいなかったよ。レイナちゃん、はぐれちゃったの？はぐれてないです。レイナ、ポーレットと今日は別々のお仕事なんです。
Brennan manages to explain it well. But Nagi is still looking around for Paulette, and she's getting on the window.
これ来て見てかみちゃん。この鉄橋だね、ナギちゃん。この下、私たちいつも通ってる。船から見上げても見たかばいね、汽車ポッポ。そうだね。下から見ると蒸気機関車、どんな感じになってるのかな。
Haha, the two of them look like they're having fun.
よかたい。煙色もどうやら落ち着いてきよったばい。
ほんと、よかですね。しっぽしっぽと。蒸気の音ば、昔ば思い出させますね。
It's not just Nagi and Fukami. Everyone in the passenger car is smiling. Like old man and old lady. Wait, what was it called? Old woman. Ran is also feeling happy. Hachiroku sure is Rana's senpai. clunk clunk. The rhythm of the tracks is really nice. The people doing track maintenance cleaned up well too. If there are lots of pebbles or twigs, the track wouldn't sing so nicely.
緑の深なってきましたね。
じゃのう。空ば隠されてしまいよる。
That's right. The sky is went into hiding. Skies went into hiding. Raina is so surprised. It's because Raina usually looks out on the tracks for the driver's room. From the driver's room.
ほう、でも、お空ないのに、雲が黙々で、面白いです。
The clouds that comes out of the chimney of 8620. Even in the forest, where you can't see the sky, it's fluffy like a white cloud.
深見さん、今どの辺と？
Oh, Kagami's troubled. But Raina knows. So Raina will teach you.
あと800メートルほどで、術戦炭鉱廃液ですよ。
The greenery is even thicker and prettier too. But the driving will become a bit harder here. Because the slope gets steeper. Because you're pulling a passenger car with lots of people. Oh.
今度は何わい？空転、きっとしそうになっちゃったのです。
Too bad. It's exactly how Raina worried it would be. Maitetsu's never pulled something this heavy. So, I guess he got a little impatient.
鉱山鉄道でもたくさんありました。新人の運転手さん、みんな必ずやっちゃってました。
A heavy load at an upward incline. The speed drops rapidly. But if you get impatient and add more power, watch out, it makes the wheel slip.
でも、さすがは863です。空転前に制御して粘着力をキープです。
Although the shock already came here, it's not a problem. If you have a wheel slip on an incline, the weight of the payload will pull you back, and you'll fall backward.
神ちゃん、窓の外何？なんでこんなに煙真っ黒？
いけんの。機関助士は慌てて石炭余計に投げ込みすぎよったか。
God damn it, Hibiki. Fuwawa. No, Raina doesn't know what happened. Oh, but Paulette did teach about it.
いいレイナ。86ちゃんの石炭はレイナにとっての軽油と同じ。そういう風に考えて。
Yes, that's right. Coal is like light oil, so if you drink it lots at once.
燃えきれないです。不完全燃焼になっちゃうのです。やだ。
Why does the room look like it's being filled with smoke?
煙、中まで入ってきよったばい。
Because it is, okay.
婚客者、どこぞに隙間はありよるか。
Hawawa. The smoke from incomplete combustion is full of carbon monoxide. Well, looks like these guys are gonna die again, and there's old people now too, so they're gonna die faster.
神ちゃん、今、新鮮な空気入れるばい。
アホ今窓なんぞ開けよったら
I'm sleeping. Yeah, Dexter's fucking not chatting. Have a good night. These guys are not having a good night though. Good time.
おじいさん、どこです？
今窓ば閉め
落ち着いて、皆さんしゃがんで、ハンカチか何かで口と鼻とを塞いでください。
No, that's not good. This is Raina's job, but Paulette has Raina right along for times exactly like this.
863
Raina doesn't feel the smoke because Raina's rail lord. Raina opens up the sympathetic connection to relay the message.
客車煙でいっぱいです。すぐに止まって煙もすぐに止めてください。本当に申し訳ございませんでした。
We got fucking elf ears.
いやいや、トラブルも覚悟での同情だ。
本当に申し訳ございませんでした。
びっくりしたけど、これはこれでいい思い出になりそうだし。
What does he... Why does his ears need to be so big? Why do his ears? We threw smoke in their faces, and yet the passengers... No, the ride-alongs weren't angry. They're even trying to compliment Paulette while she apologizes.
今まであんまり意識したことなかったけど。
Inside the cab, Hibiki is next to me with red eyes. It's probably not from the smoke and heat. All the same, she rubs her face while trying to hide the mortified tears.
ポレットさんって社長なんだ。
うん。
Being a leader means to bear all the responsibility of something. Paulette is now showing us firsthand what that means. No, this isn't the only time.
ポーレット様の準備がなければトラブルははるかに深刻になっていました。うん。だよね。本当に。
Nagi Fukami and the other ride-alongs were taken to Yunoi from Ohitoyo on Kiha 7. Paulette was on standby so that she could move out at any minute.
ポレットさんがすぐ来てくれなかったら、ずっと廃液で待たせちゃってたら。
怒り出す方も出たであろうし、体調を崩す方も出てきてしまっていたかもしれんな。
But thanks to the relatively short distance of the Yunoi line, Paulette came to our aid within 30 minutes. Thanks to that, we were able to quickly switch the passengers over to Kiha 7.
レイナの居眠り癖が今回は転じて服となりましたか。レールロードなしで、ああも見事にお一人で。
だな。ポーレット一人での運転が不可能であれば、レイナが客車から共感を送ってくれることもなかった。
トラブルに徹底的に備えてたんだ、ポーレットさん。
本当に、すごい準備だ。
Yes, that's right. A leader does more than bear all the responsibility. The higher they stand, the further out they must look. Only people with those eyes can wait.
なぜ深見を呼び、関さんや流さんに相談したかと思っていたが。
そうですね。その準備のおかげで、 8620はキハ07の進行を妨げずに済みました。
There was the passing track left at the closing station together with the rusted points. She had Seki and the other volunteers quickly bring them at a usable condition. Bring them to a usable condition.
トラブルは確実に起こるという86の警告を、ポーレットはこの上なく真摯に聞いてくれていたのだな。
She responds with a weak yes. Hatsudoku quietly looks up at me.
相鉄様。
There was no need for me. I pick up Hatsudoku and stand up. As if waiting for it, Paulette did give us directions about this though. Paulette has fulfilled every single one of her duties. There's no need for her to shoulder more alone.
何をしている、響？
ダメです、兄さん。ポーレットさんの言った通りにするべきです。
Hibiki stands in my way, just like how she did numerous times when we were young. But unlike back then, she doesn't look away, and instead stares straight into my eyes.
遊びに行くわけではないのだ。邪魔をするな。
ポーレットさんの言った通りにするべきです。
She repeats the same words. Just like Paulette said, she's saying to let Paulette alone. Paulette alone take all the responsibility.
確かに、客車が従前であれば、今回のことはトラブルにまで発展しなかったはずの事例です。
The braking at the incline to prevent wheel slip, the incomplete combustion by throwing in too much coal. Neither of those are ideal, but they are some of the more common mistakes.
肺炎が窓を閉めた客車内に入り込んでしまうなど、普通であれば、そもそもそれ自体があり得ぬことです。
That's how those common mistakes interacted with one another. She points that out, but Hachiroku's voice doesn't have a hint of anger in it.
しかし、客車は必要でした。その手配にも移送にも、ポーレット様は最善を尽くしてくださいました。
その上、同乗者からも同意を取ってくれていた。今回の件、ポーレットには何の落ち度もない。
そぎゃごつ、私もよくわかっとるばい。
She says that, but Hibiki refuses to move. She blocks the exit of the cab and just stares me down. I can easily push her aside by force, but that is exactly why I continue to talk to her.
そもそもの誰の責任、誰の落ち度と、そういうことを問うことさえもがおかしいのだ。
We allow them to ride along, knowing there could be trouble, and then it actually happened. But the problem was solved with no lasting damages, and not one of the ride-alongs were mad.
トラブル回避の練習を最小限の被害でできた。僕は今回の事態をそのようにさえ捉えている。
Hatsudoku nods deeply. Hibiki also nods, but slightly less so. However, she still doesn't move.
ゆえ、大切なのは、今回の経験をどう改善につなげ、今後に生かしていくかと考える。で、あるのだ。
I intensify my gaze and my words.
被害を最小限に抑えた功労者で、改善の先頭に立つべきでもあるポーレットに。
そ そのために。
I swallow my words. The strength in Hibiki's voice makes me do so.
今後につなぎ、傷を最小に抑え続けるために。兄さん、八郎くん、どうか、このままいてください。
Hibiki bows deeply, but she still blocks the exit.
どういうことだ？響は何を言いたいのだ？
言葉の通りです。兄さんたちに謝らせたら、傷口がもっと深くなります。
ありえんだろう。俺だけ理解ある同情者たちだぞ。
I'm hearing her say not to not apologize numerous times.
それでも誰かが頭を下げねば場は収まらないのはわかる。ならばポーレット一人にだけ頭を下げさせずとも。
違かと、兄。
When Hibiki looks up again, I feel short of breath. Her teary-eyed look. She's teary-eyed, looking as if she could start crying at any time, but her gaze is still completely fixed on me.
傷ば深めてしまうのは、ポーレットさん。ポーレット様がですか？
She nods very quietly. Hibiki nods. What is going on?
兄たちに謝らせてしまったって。そしたらあい人、自分をもって責めてしまいよるけんね。
ああ、そうか。
I hadn't considered that until now. I guess that makes sense. Hibiki did point out something very possible. No, it is something that is likely.
わかるんよ、私も。ポーレットさんと同じやけん。ニーニーや86のように強かことなかけん。
We're not strong. Not Hachiroku or I, or me. We'd snap if we didn't maintain our focus. We just keep ourselves tense.
よくわかった。
But I can't say that to Hibiki. The unexpected suffocating feeling slowly rings out a few times. Rings out a few words.
僕たちの考慮がこれは完全に浅かった。
ニーニー。
This is not good. Was my expression tense? Hachiroku now looks at me, worried, so I try to force out a smile as I say the next word slowly.
僕と86にはない優しさを響とポーレットとは持っているのだな。
Although usually bashful, Hibiki doesn't reject those words. Kindness, or should I say softness. Hibiki expresses that as a sort of weakness.
責任を負ってもらうということもまたひどく苦しいことなのですね。
Hachiroku says with a sigh. It brings out the same thoughts I had.
そうだな、苦しい。二度とは繰り返したくないほどに。
Right after saying that, Hibiki and Hachiroku both nod with determination. Yes, that's right. By bowing our heads, it wouldn't be atonement for us.
だから繰り返さぬようにしよ
We'll repair the passenger car properly. Train our driving skills. And we'll never let Paulette or anyone else go through this again.
はい、兄さん。さようにしましょう。きっと、必ず。
While nodding to each other, she must have sensed something. Hibiki makes a little gasp, then goes silent. The only thing we have now is silence. In that case, I poke my ears up to listen. Paulette's words of apology soon can't be heard anymore.
どうやら区切りがついたようだな。
Hibiki moves out. She clears the path of the exit of the cab.
ともかく、まずはポーレットにだ。
兄さん。
Hibiki pulls at my shirt. Like a lost child seeking help. She's grabbing my uniform.
どうした、響？
すまなかったより、ありがとうが。ポーレットさん、きっと、その方が嬉しいと思います。
なあ。
Hibiki is kind. I can reaffirm that today.
そうだな。響の言う通りだ。
I pat her on the head, and she lets go of my shirt.
同じ思いを伝えるのなら、ありがとうの方がずっといい。
ああ、懐かしか。これまだ怪盗とね。ん？
There's a bulletin board next to the entrance right after turning to it. Kisaki bursts out laughing.
なんだこれ。納税義務ってすごいセンスの子がいるね。木崎先輩、これ書いたことなかった。木崎先輩も小等部の時これ書きませんでした？小等部の頃？
Kisaki placed her finger next to her mouth and turned her head slightly to the side. You need to say Dexter's name, otherwise he isn't gonna look into chat. Dexter, stop chatting with chat bots. You're watching my stream. She looks mature, but she's so cute. I should imitate that and do it in front of Nini next time.
小等部の頃は転校が結構多かったんだ。父の仕事の都合でね。そっか。なるほどです。
That makes a lot of sense. Kisaki speaks in standard and is the example I follow. Kisaki speaks in standard. Okay. If she lived in Kumamoto or Hitoyo, she wouldn't be able to speak so articulately.
何が、なるほど。この習字、木崎先輩が知らない理由です。そんなに有名なものなのかい？有名っていうか。
I can't help but imitate Kisaki's mannerisms. I bend the edge of my lips just a little and put my fingers to it. Is it like this? How about this?
小等部6年の中等部に上がる前の年の書き初めでみんな必ず書くんです。お人よし全部の学園で。
I always looked up to speaking standard. the speaking standard or the capital, but Ohitio has its own good parts. Well, if you need anything, have Ento call me. Dexter, do what mods are meant to do and change the game on the stream. Change the stream category. If Senpai has never experienced it, I want to tell her.
必ず書くって、まさか。そのまさかです。納税義務。ちなみに、中等部3年の書き初めでもみんな書きます。驚いたな。ポーレット市長がそんな思い切った人とは。ああ、いや、響の頃からなら、その先代が？ああ、それは違うかと、違います。もっとずっと前からの伝統って感じみたいです。ずっと前って。うちの姉も書いてましたし、それどころか、トロル湯のおばあさんも書いたって言ってましたから。トロル湯の。へえ、それは本当に伝統だね。
She laughs through her nose a little and slightly squints.
だからかな。お人よしの市税徴収率は、県下どころか、九州全域でもずば抜けて高い1位なんだよ。そうなんですか？間違いないよ。その背景に、納税義務の書き初めがもしもあるなら、ちょっと興味深いことだよね。どうかな。そんなに単純でもないと思いますけど。いやいや。
Do you think I'm addicted to chatbots? Yes. I've been thinking about them at work. Okay. Senpai giggles a little before shaking her head. She reaches out and taps the tip of my nose with her finger.
覚えておくといいよ、響。人を育てるのは経験、環境、そして教育。それだけだ。
Ah, yes, the 3 E's.
それが分かっているなら、ですね。
And holy. Oh,
うわ、先生。
hot teacher. What? Huh? This might be bad. There's no one around us anymore.
あなた方はなぜ選択授業という学びの機会を？
He's too far gone. I expected that.
はい。一刻も逃さぬように行動したく思います。ね、響。はい。
Kisaki draws my hand, and we hurry into the city hall. Wow.
そんな説明では納得できない。
What the fuck? Why is she so loud?
大きな声だね。何事だろう。
Don't say ugly MILF teacher. That is literally an oxymoron. If they're fighting, that's kind of scary. Kisaki keeps heading to the source of the voices. Huh? Isn't this...
開けっぱなしとはね。だから音漏れするんだよ。あ、
Kisaki takes me by the hand and, in a practiced motion, enters the public gallery of the assembly and closes the door behind her. Ugly cougar. Okay, that makes more sense.
わかるように説明してもらえませんかね。利権関係、明快に。
Weird angle. Yeah, I know why they positioned it like this. The man is shouting. It sounds like he's scolding someone, and it makes me twitch at it.
荒れてるようだね。こういう時こそ議会見学は面白い。でも。
I hate it. It's scary. I want to get out of here. I know.
ほら、選択授業参加しないとダメですし。市役所見学の授業だ。全く問題ないよ。議場こそ、市政を司る役所の中心たる部分なんだから。
Yeah, of course they're here at the right moment. Because why would they're coincidentally here when the assembly they are catching a glimpse of is relevant to the plot.
けど、
At the edge of my vision, I see something float up. Golden hair, a natural color that doesn't look dyed.
その点は、先ほどもご説明申し上げました通り、先方の。
先方の希望での姉妹都市提携とおっしゃいますがね。客車譲渡とのバーターでしょそれ
Paulette is the one being yelled at. The whole thing about being scared of yelling, or the whole thing about being scared of yelling, or that I have to attend class have vanished. What?
バーターという言葉をどう定義するかにもよるかと思いますが。
A rough and mean man continues to shout. But for some reason, Paulette looks calmer than usual.
ウィンウィンの取引をバーターと呼ぶのであれば、今回の案件はそのような性質であるかもしれません。
バーターだよ、バーター一市企業の利益のために姉妹都市提携を出しにして
だとしても、駿河市との姉妹都市提携がお人よしに多くのメリットを与えることは変わりません。
そういう問題じゃないだろう
He yells again, but Paulette doesn't change her expression.
市企業の営利活動が市の発展へとつながることにどのような問題があるのか分かりかねます。
Paulette is right. The municipality runs by taxation. The company's business activity isn't something to be reprimanded.
へえ、市長も一皮むけたのかもね。
Oh no, this isn't good. I have to speak in standard. I want to be more proper, like Nini. I want to catch up to Nissan so that I can walk alongside him. What? You're just... It's not that deep, it's just it's just changing the way you speak. He doesn't even want you to change your dialect.
あんなに怒鳴られたら確実に動揺してたね、彼女。けど今は強いね。まるで誰かに支えられてるようだ。
I think so too. Paulette isn't strong. She's trying hard. Because she thinks it's her fault that troubles occurred with the passenger car. That's why she wanted to achieve results this time. And she wants Nini to compliment her. Just like me, Paulette is working hard at it.
ああ市長
Being told off, the man starts to mouth off again.
市の発展につながれば何をしてもいいってんならエアクラ社の工場誘致反対はおかしいでしょうが
The person really is a politician. I'd be speechless if that were me up there, but Paulette is simply brushing off their remarks.
全く話が違います。エアロクラフテック社の活動とお人よしの発展とではウィンウィンの関係を築けないと。
市長、早くご結婚されたらどうですかね。
She will in the next route, okay? Just wait a minute.
旦那に抱いてもらえりゃね、ウィーンウィーンなんて言わなくなるでしょ。
He's horrible. Voices of dissent and vulgar laughs fill the assembly. But Paulette still isn't phased.
議長、不規則発言に注意を。
Paulette's nose drips a red line. Everything stops in the assembly briefly.
失礼。
A nosebleed. She's keeping her cool. She holds back her nose as if she's used to it. That makes it all the scarier to me. Isn't it bad to be used to having nosebleeds? Is it overwork? Maybe she's in a bad condition right now. You know, I usually had nosebleeds because of how hot it was. That's also a factor. You know.
最悪のタイミングだな。
I don't think it's that cold right now in Maitetsu, in Ohitoyo.
おいおい、想像させちゃったか。しょ、申し訳ございません。
Her face is red, but she's not embarrassed. This is the first time I've seen Paulette angry. She glares at the heckling assemblyman and starts taking large strides at him. Paulette suddenly crumbles at the knees and falls to the ground. Her complexion is usually white, but right now it's closer to a waxy white.
あら、師匠、もしかして。
いい加減にしろ。
A loud shout. Kisaki stands up.
それが議員の発言か？お人よ市民の代表者として恥ずかしくないのか？
Her sharp voice shouts out a right argument as the assembly goes silent.
何をしているんだ議長。市長の介護を指示しないのか？
うん。
A gavel. The kind you see in movies. Or a courtyard. Courtroom.
休憩します。暫時休憩。市長治療のため暫時休憩とします。
It's as if that voice cut through the tension. The man who heckled now turns this way to snap at us.
おい、傍聴席のガキ！お前な、神聖な議会をなんだと！
バカ！あの方は銀行の宝生さんの。
The vulgar man's vulgar face turns from a vulgar red to blue. Shut the fuck up! Stop saying vulgar! It's lost all its meaning. Kisaki takes out her smartphone and takes a picture of his face.
この件は関係各所に連絡させてもらう。自身に恥じることがないなら堂々としていたまえ。
各所って、ちょっとおい！
おいじゃない！お前！自分が何をやったか分かっているのか！
いや、だって、いや。
Internal discord. Or rather, they're turning on each other. The moment I think they're unsightly, something covers my line of sight.
出よう、響。
Kisaki stretches her hand out to me and beckons me with a calm voice.
残念ながら、この方たちからはろくなことを学べそうもない。そうだね。その方向で。細かいことは任せるよ。
You know, Hibiki, you could have at least blinked a bit in the CG. Beep. Kisaki hangs up. I don't know who she was talking to, but I know what she was talking about. What that vulgar man did was become public. Will become public. it can't be swept under the rug anymore.
ほら、響き。
Stop saying pia. I feel something cold on my neck. The moment I realize it's a soda can, I suddenly feel really thirsty.
いただきます。
You didn't hear that. If Dexter doesn't put it out, then you didn't hear anything. The orange soda is less than 1% juice. Oh. It pops in my throat as if washing away all the ill emotions inside of me.
ここまでひどい議会はなかなか見れないね。ある意味、非常に貴重な経験ではある。
I didn't hear anything. Exactly. You were too busy talking to chatbots to hear the stream.
本当にあるんですね。ああいう、なんていうのか、セクハラみたいな。みたいではなく、セクシャルハラスメントそのものだ。ポーレット市長も試練だね。
What test? I don't think. What do you mean test?
試練。
Kisaki drinks a sports drink. The blue and white can matches her beautifully.
男の活躍している場所で、若い女性が頭角を現し始める。すると必ず、この手の妨害を仕掛ける奴が出てくる。ああ。
How old is white-haired girl? She's like a year older than Hibiki. So like 17?
能力を発揮できないうちは、ちやほやお人形扱いさ。が、一度自分の立場が脅かされそうになると。ね。
I'd pass then. Well, more for me, I guess. Kisaki mumbles at how she hates that as she opens the can. She looks as if she's just as if she's just bit into something bitter. It makes me feel like it is what she says it is. I'm sure Kisaki also went through something similar at the bank.
もちろん逆の立場であれば、女性が男性に嫌がらせする。そうした心理は、どこにでも誰にでも発生する。
But once she accepts that, Kisaki seems lighthearted about it.
動物的だよね。群れの濁りを解消する新しい血を歓迎し、けれど、群れを変質されそうになってしまえば排除する。
I was gonna bring up past presidents, but never mind. She understands, overcomes, and it seems like she's had a breakthrough.
だから、自分の立ち位置を、居場所を作り出すためには、きっと誰もが、その試練を越えなくちゃいけない。ああ、そう言われると、なんかわかるような気がします。
Like with the pictures and signs. It's not as obvious with me. It's not as obvious with me, but the local sign makers also told me off that at times.
だろうね。
Kisaki understands, but she's been watching. Because she's been watching. With Nini not here, I feel so discouraged. She gave me the pencil when I couldn't move.
しかし市長は、結局は箱入りのお嬢様なのかな。頑張っていても、あのタイミングで折れるのは。それ、違うって。だって、あぎゃん無理ば重ねとったら誰だって。無理、か、だろうね。
Senpai tilts her can and starts drinking while while her snow white throat gulps. What?
わかるよ。市長だけでも多忙極まる。その上、赤字の鉄道会社の社長だものね。
I feel as if she wants to drink. She wants me to drink too, so I do. Doing that cools off my heated mind.
ポーレットさん、今日とかすごくきつかったって思うんです。
I try to add to the conversation.
体とか時間とかだけのことじゃなく、今はちょっと精神的にも。客車のトラブルの件が負担になってかな。ああ。
I'm not surprised. This is Kisaki. It's odd to think that the information wouldn't get to the bank, but my words start to creep up in my mind. My worries start to creep up in my mind.
やっぱり良くない噂とかになっちゃってますか？話はいろいろ聞くけどね。良くないはわからない。僕も所詮、一時情報を知っているわけではないから。ああ、そうですよね。
I want her to understand how hard Paulette was working. I want her to know that Paulette being tired is unavoidable. That's why I tell her everything from the beginning. I tell her everything I experienced that day.
私たち、全然助けてあげられなくて。けど、ポーレットさんは、私たちを助けようとずっとしてて。
We had other responsibilities, and we had our hands full just dealing with that. That's how it went. But I think that maybe we could have helped somehow.
やっぱり今日もポーレットさん、一人で議会で頑張って。なのに私は。なるほどね。
When I was about to say what I was about to say, the thought that crossed my mind. Kisaki's interruption cuts it down.
ありがとう。とても参考になった。やはり当事者の話は違う。
Kisaki takes another drink from a can. I didn't. Oh, that's what she's saying.
そこまでギリギリだとはね。なんですよ。だからといって倒れていい理由にはならない。もっと過酷な状況だったらリーダー不在は罪悪だ。
I can't argue that. What Kisaki is saying is right. But
だけどね、響。最悪に思える状況は得てしてそこから好転していくためのポイントだ。
Kisaki flips over the emptied can and shakes it. The can is thrown into the trash can far away, but it hits the edge and bounces back. Man, you're a shit thrower.
ああ、惜しい。
She picks it up and then throws it into the trash can normally. Senpai makes a wry smile as she turns to me.
響、これも覚えておくといい。情報も人もそしてお金も、お金があるところには集まってくる。
Money also gathers where the money is. Yep.
お金。
Being told that, it makes me remember he needed money and wanted to borrow it. Nini was so close to becoming collateral to Kisaki. Kisaki supposedly didn't object to that. So she's a rival, that's what you should be thinking. I feel murky inside. I want to ask, but I can't. I'm afraid of putting my food in my mouth. Putting my foot in my mouth. All that comes out of me is a sigh.
お人よ鉄道もそうだし、お人よしもそうだし、お金があれば誰も苦しい思いをしないで済むのかな。もしそうならば幸いだね。銀行が破綻するようなことは決してなくなる。
That's right. I saw it on the news before. About the banks and security companies. They all had so much money, but they all went bankrupt.
良くない情報も、良くない人も、良くないお金も。お金はやっぱり呼び寄せる。
Bad money is attracted to money.
あるんですか？良くないお金とかって。
Blood money.
今日は確かに価値があるのに、明日には無価値。そういうお金は望ましいものとは言えないね。
You know what that money is? Cryptocurrency.
通貨の価値とは信用力さ。国家が破綻し、信用力がガタ落ちすれば、その国の通貨は紙切れだ。ああ。
That's right. I thought money just had value. For example, even if I am to issue Hibiki currency, no one will recognize it. No one will recognize that as money. Having people trust that it can be exchanged for goods and services is the prerequisite for money to be money. Maybe then I can actually read what's on screen. Oh, unfortunate.
だからね、いびき。見極めるべきは質なんだ。人も、情報も、お金も、そして未来さえもね。未来の質。
Where did your voice go? Listen. Look. I think an iPad, I think a tablet would also not help if it's bad internet, alright? I know from experience. I want to ask. I think I can ask now. No, that's not it. I have to ask now.
木崎先輩は、だから工場誘致に賛成なんですか？エアクラ工場の誘致は、一番未来の質を高めるって。そう思っている。そして同時に、もしもあるなら、より良い別の未来図を見せてほしいとも願っている。
She tells me she tells me without hiding anything. Even Kisaki doesn't think it's the best. But because there isn't anything superior to that, she's forced to pick the one that's the best out of the current options.
ポーレット市長には、個人的には期待を高めていたんだけどね。
いた。あなたたちまた二人でこんなところで。
The hot teacher is back. It's the teacher. What does she mean? Wait.
木崎先輩、時計っていうか集合時間。 これはいけない。話に夢中になってしまった。
Kisaki bows to the teacher approaching us.
集合時間に遅れてしまってすみません。すぐ向かいます。
そうして。っていうかあなたたち、見学は？姿見かけなかったけど、ここでおしゃべりしてたの？
いいえ、先生。きちんと学習していましたよ。市政について、財政について、議会について。
I nod to Kisaki's voice. Rather than having someone at City Hall tell us about last year's budget, we learned something that is closer to the core of everything. The core of the plot.
そう？ならいいけど。でもね、集合時間くらいはきちんと守りなさいな。
はい。失礼しました。ごめんなさい。
わかったんなら、はい、走る。他の子たち、あなたたちが待たせてるのよ。
はい。行こう、響。
Kisaki is already running. She's so fast. She's getting farther and farther away.
もう少し話せるとよかったんだけど。
Why they two apologized, but different phrases came out. Hang on. What? But that's how it is. Kisaki is just as busy as Paulette. We managed to talk a lot already. I really shouldn't ask for more. I mean the Japanese. Hang on.
ごめんなさい。はい。失礼しました。
Okay, well, she says more. She says something more along the lines of, "Excuse me." Look, both mean I'm sorry, but yeah.
右田さん、何をしてるの？はい、
今行きます。
After cleaning up, I get to the table waiting for breakfast, but no one is here.
ならば、たまには僕が作るか。
They usually just chase me out, saying that the kitchen is the woman's castle. What? The women's castle? Have a good night, starving. Though I'm not opposed to cooking at all, I had to do many things while I lived alone in the capital.
どれ？
すみません、兄さん、寝坊しました。
Dexter, tell starving good night. The moment I stood up, Hibiki comes running in.
今、大急ぎで朝食作りますから。
いやいや、たまにはゆっくり過ごせ。今日は僕が何か用意しよ
う。
Hibiki's face turns pale. Maybe she has low blood pressure.
いけません。そんな兄さん、男の人が台所とか。
そんな時代でもあるまいよ。
Yet Hibiki still refuses. Let me try to be more forceful. Be more forceful here.
今日は響の好物のミニハンバーグを作ってやろう。トーストに乗せてそのまま食べるとうまかろう。
気持ちだけで十分です。それにほら、ひき肉も切らしてますし。
ならば、油揚げを使ってみてはどうかな。うん、いけるだろう。豆腐ハンバーグというものもある。
いや、油揚げだとバサバサで、細かく刻んでもハンバーグ状にまとまらない気が。
そういう時にはつなぎを使えばいい。そう。パンに乗せるのだから、ジャムをつなぎにしてみよ
油揚げにジャム。
Yeah, I was gonna say.
お元気ですね、宗哲様は。
This time it's Hachiroku. While saying something cheeky, she hands me the newspaper.
新聞でも読み、どんと構えてらしてください。それこそ、私の主たるにふさわしい振る舞いです。
いや、しかし、響がだな。
ハンバーグ、次の楽しみにしてあげますね。
Zip like the wind. Hibiki hurries into the kitchen. Why are they so resistant? But if she can move that quickly.
響、何か吹っ切ったようですね。
Yeah, she wants to fuck. What?
ああ、
If Hachiroku sees that too, then there's no mistake. After the trouble with the passenger car, Hibiki had been dejected like a bud dipped in salt.
昨日は登園日だったからな。宝生妃に葉っぱでもかけられたのかもしれん。
宝生妃様ですか？あの方、けれど響とは学年が。
ああ、違う。妃の方が先輩だ。が、昨日の登園は選択実習というやつらしくてな。
はい。
It's an elective that's divided by which course they choose rather than by grade. Knowing Hibiki and Kisaki, they definitely chose the same elective together.
そうなのですか？もしもそうなら、響は随分宝生妃様にも影響されてしまうのですね。
You only realize that now?
のようだな。
I smirk at her, saying also. It seems that Hachiroku is quite observant of Hibiki. That's what I understand.
大人になった部分もあれば、なりきれん部分もある。それはおそらく僕とて同じことだろう。
あ
あ。Hachiroku seems convinced at that.
確かに、さようかもしれませんね。
She stares at me. Or perhaps Hachiroku's affirmation is toward how I haven't completely matured.
だからこそ、人は努力するのだ。
さようですね。その姿こそ、美しく尊く思います。
This isn't good. I made it sound like an excuse. On top of that, Hachiroku now looks at me like a mother would.
まあ、何にせよ。響に元気が出たのならよかった。
Her gaze makes me feel embarrassed. So I open up the newspaper she gave me. Just as Hachiroku recommended, I suppose sitting here looking dignified is the best.
おい、86。響だぞ。
何がですか？
新聞だ。ここに響の写真が出ている。
Of course Hibiki's in the newspaper. Oh, it's the CG! Assemblyman forced to resign by local girl over sexual harassment case. Excuse me? Underneath that title header, I see Hibiki and Kisaki's photo there.
あらまあ、本当に響ですね。宝生妃様の影に隠れてしまっていますが。
新聞的には、どうやら妃がヒロインらしいぞ。
まあ、それは。
Hachiroku looks interested, so I continue reading.
詳細は書かれていないが、昨日の議会でひどいセクハラ発言があったようだな。
セクハラ？
性的な嫌がらせという意味だ。それをぶつけられ、ポーレットはショックを受けて退席したと書いてある。
恥知らずな人間がいるものですね。
セクハラヤジを飛ばした議員はそのまま議場に残った。それを妃が傍聴席から一括したらしい。
良いことですね。
この記事もそうした論調で書かれているな。
You didn't hear that. Listen, I was trying to see how long it would take until it would start getting fucky, and it took 24 minutes, alright? Which is like 6 minutes more than when I would usually stop the recording. Actually, this article is too opinionated as a report. I get the impression that it's trying to flatter Kisaki. Maybe it's because she has influence over the media.
結果、当該議員は同日中に議員辞職をしたそうだ。
当然で。
But Hatsudoku keeps her mouth open.
は？一括されて、それだけで、その日のうちに辞職をですか？
Well, yeah, who do you think funds the government? It's obviously the bank. And if you insult the CEO of the bank's daughter, then, you know.
エアクラ推進派の新人議員だったということだからな。
He must have run away before the public opinion of them worsened. If that weren't the case, it could be that he angered the Hosho family, the center of the aircraft supporters, and was shaken up.
大人の判断というやつがどこかで働いたのだろう。まあ、そのような議員の退場は死の益にもなろうが。
Look, the only politics that were involved is that money talks, and if you insult, and if you bite the hand that feeds, you know. Never mind that. How's Paulette doing? It says that she left after being in shock. That's a rather ambiguous way to put it.
あら？写真、響きに見せずにめくってしまわれるのですか？
うん。関連記事は3面とのことだからな。
Jesus. Hatsudoku and I look at each other and then turn back to page 3. Mayor Hinai P. to resign. Thick letters are printed as that.
辞任って、そんな、なぜこんなにいきなり。
I don't know, she resigns in Hachidoku's route, so she's going to resign in Hibiki's route.
慌てるな。辞任へだ。確定された事項ではなく、推測を書いた記事に過ぎない。
But still, it bothers me how the article writes about how she's pained from the continued trouble that with the 8620 test run.
随分と悪意に書くものですね。
そうだな。それは、そうなのだが。
Though it's exaggerated it's exaggerated from malice, the interpretation at the root of it is still accurate.
この記者、あの日に同情でもしていたのか。いや、しかし、運転室内部の様子などは。
にーに、それ、ソース、私かも。
響。
With soy sauce in one hand, Hibiki is standing there. Shaking slightly, she peers over me at the newspaper.
私、だって、まさかこんなことになるなんて。
落ち着け、響。まだ、どんなことにもなっていない。
The only thing that has happened is that the harassing former assemblyman is now looking for another job, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is Paulette. I doubt what what's in the article is true, but
とにかく、ポーレットに会おう。
I will have to make an appointment for a meeting to find out the details. That must be done immediately, or else things may start to get out of hand.
なら、私も、私も、ね、一緒に。
ああ、もちろんだ。
I pat her on the head, but Hibiki still won't stop shaking. That's how I know Hibiki also understands. I hate to admit it, but this article is convincing because it's done accurate fact-checking. Something that most journalists nowadays don't do. Never mind. Being so convincing if it gets out to the masses. If it gets out to the masses, if they think that Paulette might really resign, the government will start to move with Paulette's resignation in mind. This will surely negatively affect Paulette's influence and trust.
相鉄様、お電話つながりました。
気が利くな、86。ありがたい。
There's no time to waste. Since this report already went out, I'm sure that Paulette's phone line must be ringing off the hook.
ポーレットが僕だ。新聞は、そうか。読んだか。
Paulette is obviously agitated. We have to move quickly.
そのまま動くな。僕らがレールショップへ向かう。
相鉄くん、私、どうしたら。
She's back to her panic mode. The fearful and confused Paulette from when we first met. In that case, I can't hesitate. Even if it may be wrong, I have to make a decision now.
鍵をかけ、誰にも会うな。何も話すな。すぐに向かうから、安心して待て。
Damn. Maitetsu. But will Paulette really resign? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. This is terribly bitter. Either there are too many tea leaves in it, tea leaves, or it was brewed too long, or it could possibly be a combination of the two. With the teacups in front of me, Paulette and Hibiki both are quiet and have stern looks on their faces. So they are already making the face, that face, long before Paulette made the tea.
ポーレット。
はい、なんでしょう、相鉄くん。
この茶だが、入れ損なってしまったのではないかと僕は感じる。
Paulette's still with a surprised face. She puts the cup of tea, the cup to her lips. Hibiki doesn't move.
これ、ごめんなさい。私、すぐに入れ直して。
Oh, ew.
いや、僕に任せてはくれんか。この前のオースは好評をいただいたようだしな。
はい。それじゃ、お言葉に甘えちゃいますね。ありがとうございます。
なら、少し待っていてくれ。
Paulette is obviously nervous. Hibiki is most likely blaming herself right now. We won't be able to talk right now. Then, what should I do? I have to move to where we can.
待たせたな。
まあ、私たちもいただけるのですね。相鉄さん、ありがとうございます。
The Rail Lords just sit there while drinking the tea. The humans, on the other hand, the teacups in front of them are in front of them, but they're not even reaching for them.
ポーレット、
なんでしょう、相鉄くん。
少しレイナに話を聞いてもよいだろうか。
An obvious sigh of relief. Paulette faces up and looks me in the eye, if for the first time today.
そうしてください。その方が私が話すよりきっと正しく伝わります。
ならばそうさせてもらおう。レイナも構わないか。
はい。レイナ、何のお話をすればいいですか？ね。
A soft voice that makes me doubt what the tension up until now was for. Paulette matches her sightline with Reina and talks to her with their noses close to each other.
昨日お客様が来たでしょ？あの時のこと、レイナが見たままに話してほしいの。わかりました。レイナ、相鉄さんにお客さんのことお話ししますね。
She gulps down the rest of the tea. Reina takes out her flask and puts it on the table before talking in a relaxed way.
昨日は銀行の頭取さん、宝生さんがポーレットに会いに来たんです。
Just hearing Hosho's name makes Hibiki twitch.
宝生さんはポーレットにお話をしました。難しくて、レイナにはよくわからないお話です。スポンサードの申し出でした。
Reina's talks paved the way. Paulette's voice starts to grow quietly.
列車内広告や駅広告、路線広告などをフルパッケージで熊本銀行として契約を結びたいというお話です。
熊銀がお人よで？何の広告をするというんだ？
Kumamoto Bank is the only bank of Ohitoyo. Their level of recognition and influence is great. I don't believe they have any need to put out advertisements.
まして、お人よ鉄道において。いや、好意的に見れば、観光振興を見込んで、ではないか。
Kumamoto Bank isn't operating on a national scale. There's little need to advertise to tourists. Isn't operating on a national scale. Okay. In that case...
バータですか。
Hibiki squeaks out a comment. Paulette nods weakly.
ですね。申し出られているのは、事実上の利益供与。20年の長期にわたり、年1000万の広告料ですから。
なんというか、絶妙な金額ではあるな。
With such a low effect of advertisement along the tracks, his offer of 10 million is more than suspicious. Kato is awake and off to my usual addiction, but happy be a dork and gummy worm day. Let's embrace your inner dork and get some snacks, you hear. Hello, meow. Kind of funny that there is a geek and a dork day. Yep. Of course there is. On top of that, it's a total of 200 million.
8620関係で使ったお金をすべて埋め、いくらか余りが出る金額。 という感じですね。
But it's the same. There's slight differences. Thanks for the hydrate.
うん。
From Ohito Railway's point of view, this is an attractive offer that cancels out all investment risk. That also means, okay, I have to wake up and continue Octopath. Alright, good luck.
バーターであるのなら、広告以外の要求もあったわけだな。
はい。
工場誘致反対を撤回しろと要求されたのか。
いいえ、そうではなくて、市長の辞任が要求ですか？
響。
Hibiki had been hanging her head low, but she's looking up now. Her eyes are red. It's the eyes of someone whose tears have dried.
辞任さえすれば、それだけでいいって。多分、そういうような要求。そうです。
She must have been really surprised. Paulette swallows once and lowers her voice before speaking again.
市長を辞任することだけが条件で、辞任さえすれば、広告の話はすぐ契約すると。
After saying that, Paulette looks up to Hibiki.
けど、どうして響ちゃんがそのこと？
Hibiki starts to shake violently. She's trying her best not to let the tears welling up in her eyes overflow.
そう思わせたの。そう思わせてしまったの。私、だから。
思わせた。
It all makes sense. Without questioning it, I made a declaration.
宝生妃にか。
私、だって、分かってほしくて。ポレートさん、負担大変で、頑張ってること。
ああ。
The mayor left the assembly after being sexually harassed. It made me think that the newspaper article and Hibiki's words connected. Kisaki most likely looked down on Paulette. That's why Hibiki tried her best to defend her.
響はポーレットを思いやった。
I hear her sniffing. Even I, as her adopted brother, know that it's an affirmation.
それは間違いなく良いことだ。だというのに。バカだな、響は。そんなに震えて。
I move closer and hold Hibiki by the shoulder. She still won't stop shaking, so I wrap my arms around her to hug her. She buries her face into my clothes, as if she can't hold back the tears any longer.
怯える必要などはない。何に震えることもない。響は少しも間違ったことなどしていない。
だって！
事実を話しただけなのだろう。気心の知れている先輩に。
それはそうだけど、でも木崎先輩、熊本銀行の人なのに。
そうだ。響は学園の先輩に話しただけだ。
I can declare this. I've only interacted with Kisaki a few times before.
熊本銀行お人吉店長としての宝生妃は、決して一学園生の情報だけで行動を起こしたりはしない。
Yeah, and you've got a route with her eventually. What? Anyway, if anyone's spoken with Kisaki, even just once, they can see that she's that sort of person.
あれは必ず事実関係の裏を取る。そして事実は隠そうとしてさえ明らかになる。
No. Could it be Kisaki may already have considered taking this direction? Direction? There was no question mark. Either way, whatever Hibiki told Kisaki, it's only one of the factors for Kisaki.
事態はすでに動いていたのだ。響が何を話そうが、黙っていようが関係なしに。な。
そうなの、響ちゃん。
Being pushed by Reina, Paulette is slowly gathering some strength in her voice. As if to cheer up Hibiki, she rings out her tired voice.
辞任云々の報道が出たのは、ただ私の答えが、心が揺らいでたせいだから。
Hibiki jumps up at Paulette's words. She made her say that, thinking that it must have deepened Hibiki's self-loathing.
ありがとう、ニーニー。
That's Hibiki, my sister. She's pushing me away, as if to tell me everything is alright. If that's what Hibiki wants, I'll act accordingly. I turn back to Paulette and repeat what I heard.
揺らいだか。
ですね。正直、揺らいじゃいました。
The loss of her strength, she wrung out for Hibiki gradually withered away. Paulette is that fatigued right now.
私がすぐにきっぱり断っていれば、そんな報道、絶対に出るはずもないんです。
まあ、それはそうだろうな。
If it has no truth behind it, we can simply take legal action against them. By taking this stance, it will also be a strong declaration of a denial of resignation.
けど、私、揺らいで、迷って、検討しますって答えちゃったんです。
Yeah, but, you know, the news, the article kind of pressures you into actually resigning.
検討か。
While thinking about how to choose the right words, Hatsuroku steps in.
市長辞任を検討しますと、そう捉えられても仕方のない発言ですね。それは。
はい。ポーレット、市長さん、辞めちゃうんですか？さあ、レイナ、どうなのかしらね。
She doesn't outright deny what Reina asks. Reina looks even more curious.
わからないのですか？ポーレットのことなのに。そうね、ほんと。自分のこともわからないとか、おかしいわよね。
Worried for her weak answer, Reina trots over to Paulette. Paulette reaches out with her white arms and holds Reina close. What was that sound effect? Oh, sound. I didn't think it was this serious. Is Paulette that burnt out? Burned out.
相鉄様。
Hatsuroku looks at me while saying only that. He stares as if to urge me for something.
ああ、結論はすでに出ている。
That's why I also say this. Everyone understands this, but just haven't said it. I have to say it, or else we can't move forward.
僕たちは、この辞任観測報道を否定できず、撤回させることもできない。
She nods very slightly and weakly, but I know for sure that Paulette did nod. In the next moment, as if surprised by the fact that that she did. She looks at me on the verge of tears.
ポーレットへの負荷が大きすぎたのだ。これ以上の市長と社長の兼務は。
相鉄くん。
He blinks and swallows. Paulette then takes a deep breath and slowly stands up.
ありがとう。でも、自分で言います。自分で言わなきゃダメなことです。絶対に。
I know. No. Everyone here knows this already. Paulette's sense of responsibility is much stronger than it needs to be.
私の能力で、お人よ市長と、お人よ鉄道社長とを、これ以上兼務することは、とても困難だと感じています。
If that's Paulette's decision, naturally we support her. Hibiki, who had her head hung low, now looks straight at Paulette.
ですので、最善の形を作って、そうして、市長を辞任したいと、今、決断しました。
そうか。
最善の形とは、誰に、あるいは何にとっての最善という意味でしょうか。
Hachinoku doesn't let Paulette turn back. She won't let her stand still right now. She asks about how this decision will lead to the future.
お人よしと、お人よ鉄道。そして、私たちみんなにとっての最善です。
具体的には、
私が市議会議長に辞職を申し出れば、その日から5プラス50日以内に市長選が行われます。
5 plus 50 days. You mean 55? Paulette's eyes turn to me.
その市長選で、エアクラ工場誘致反対派の候補が勝てば、民意を改めて示せることになります。
なるほど。そうなれば、一挙両得という形に。
いえ、熊本銀行からの広告の話は断ります。受けてしまえば、市長選で負けてしまいますから。
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. He's right. If we accepted the advertisement offer, let's say they pawned the office of mayor to get advertisement money, we wouldn't be able to fight that anymore.
となると、広告云々の話は、ある種の罠とも考えられるか。
そうですね。
Her words aren't cowering anymore, and some strength has returned to her eyes.
選挙戦。選挙は、つまり、戦争ですから。
Well, that's what most people think in America.
でしたら最善、勝利のための戦略を、すでにポーレット様はお考えなのですか？
Paulette nods. Even when looking up, her eyes are still fixed on me.
私、考えたんです。私が揺らいでしまったのは、逆に言うと、揺らげるだけの余裕があったからだって。その余裕は、相鉄くんが私に与えてくれたもの。相鉄くんがいてくれるって思ったから、私。
なるほど。つまり、
Hachinoku's view goes from Paulette to me.
後継候補相鉄様に。それが、ポーレット様の戦略ですか？
うん。もちろん、相鉄くんが良ければだけど。
もとより、エアクラ工場誘致撤回を果たすため、僕はこの町に戻ってきた。候補になるのは構わん。が、
I look, not at Paulette, not at Hachinoku, but her. Born and raised in Ohitoyo, my sister was who taught me everything I know about Ohitoyo.
僕という実質的なよそ者が候補になって、お人よの選挙で勝てるのか？
大丈夫です。私だって同じようなものでしたし。
It'd be crazy if if the route has Sotetsu become the mayor of Ohitoyo.
相鉄様を上回る能力の候補など、お人よ中をどう探しても見つからないでしょう。
I'm happy that Paulette and Hachiroku trust me so much, but things aren't that simple. Paulette may be an outsider here, but she's the daughter of the previous mayor that passed away in office. In contrast, Paulette is resigning on her own accord. We're not related, nor is it an avenging battle either. Being a candidate following her is completely unknown in how much advantage it has. On top of that, Hachiroku's evaluation of me is nepotism. I already know of someone better than me really close by.
ねえねえに。
Yeah, but Hibiki can't become the mayor because she's too young. I'm surprised because it's like she read my mind, but Hibiki isn't looking at me. She's staring straight at the floor. Her eyes are nailed there and don't move.
枕姉さんに聞いてみるのが一番いいと思います。お人よの選挙のこと。多分、誰よりも詳しいですから。
あ、そうですよね。
そうなのでしょうね。
An agreement from both sides, but I still can't answer right away.
響はそれで。
I quickly stop myself. What am I, stupid? Hibiki suggested it, and it's foolish of me to confirm whether it's really alright. Agreement or opposition, those are only two choices, so my answer can only be one.
とてもいい案だ。そうしよう。
そうちゃんでは勝てんね。
That's what I'm saying. Fucking Hibiki. Bluntly, Makoto lays out the conclusion.
どうしてですか？
To that question, Makoto throws a question back.
選挙結果を決める言われとる3要素。なんとなんとなんだか知っとる？
存じ上げません。
地盤、看板、カバンと言われていますよね。
ばっかりです。
Raina is clueless.
そうね、レイナ。
Raina is amused at that. Raina tells her, or rather, she pretends to teach Raina. Surf is the organization. Sign is the recognition. Bag means money. She nonchalantly teaches that.
けど、今時の選挙はむしろ、人、金、風で決まる、なんていう風にも言われてるの。
風って、ビューって吹く、あれですか？
そうね。つまりは、その場の流れや雰囲気のこと。今時は、不動票の影響力がとても大きいから。
不動票。地盤に乗らない。特定の候補を応援してない票のこと。いうか、ぽーちゃんは、さすが現職の市長さんやね。
いえ、そんな。
ほんならね、今度は、ひーちゃんに質問。
The question is directed at her suddenly, but Hibiki isn't nervous. She nods quietly. Satisfied at that, Makoto looks on and throws another question.
人、金、風で、前回の市長選、ぽーちゃんに味方したのは、どれやったかね？お金がどうかは知らないけど、人と風とは確実に。そうね。前市長の地盤をそっくり受け継いで、その上、弔い選挙いう強か追い風ば吹いたけんね。
Satisfied with the answer, he then looks to Paulette for confirmation. Makota's sight then turns to me.
王ちゃんが辞任して市長選になった場合、誘致賛成派が担ぐ候補は、妃ちゃんだ。そうなんですか？
Paulette and the others are surprised. On the other hand, Hibiki nods without changing her expression. Slowly, ever so cautiously, she looks at me.
やっぱりだよね。だから兄さんじゃ今回の選挙には勝てない。
Yeah, because he doesn't have the reputation, the people, or the money. He doesn't have that small loan of $1 million.
そうよね。うちもそう思うたい。ゆうか、そうちゃんを立てれば、向こうさんの思うつぼ。
思うツボとは何ですか？相鉄様なら、そんなツボは叩き割ってくださいます。
ならば、86。
You're a bit extreme there, Hachinoku. I'm honestly flattered. But Hibiki's evaluation is accurate, and I know that better than anyone.
比較してみよう。まずは金。妃と僕とで、これはどうだ？
それは、さすがに向こうです。
そうちゃんやぽーちゃんにお金を出してくれるそうは、今回の鉄道絡みで、かなりお財布軽うにしたけんね。
I can't do anything but nod in agreement. But if I said I was sorry, it would be rude to Makoto and the others who invested in us.
相鉄様。
Hachinoku was about to say something, but zipped her lips. She shakes her head and then looks straight up.
ですが、これはこちらが勝っていましょう。
Do they?
それはそうとね。妃ちゃんとそうちゃんが互角として、頭取の宝生さんとうちとが互角。
Hachinoku looks a bit dissatisfied, but she decides to listen. Hibiki still appears on the verge of tears and tries her best to maintain an expressionless face.
そう考えたら、残った駒の質でも量でも、こっちの陣営が勝るたい。
でしたら、これで1対1です。
ほんなら、勝負の3本目。風は、どっちに吹くとやろうね。
それこそ、勝負は時の運です。
Yeah, but does the newspaper not tilt it in Kisaki's favor?
そぎゃん風に考えてしまうようなら、選挙には決して勝てんけん。
なぜですか？
選挙に勝てる人間は、風を吹かせる人間だから。自分にとっての順風も、相手にとっての逆風も。
And that's why Trump will win the election. I mean, it does not help. This is happening. That I'm playing through this part right a day after what happened. Hibiki has a solemn voice.
無理やりにでも風を吹かせる。妃先輩はそうできるよう準備してるから。
そうちゃんがぽーちゃんの後継いい言うんはいくらでも下世話に解釈できる構図やけんね。
Paulette looks at my face and turns instantly red. Oh, I see. Even I understand this.
僕が市長の座につくため、ポーレットと恋仲になり、辞職を強いた。そのような筋書きを作れるのだな。
そのようなこと、全くの事実無根。
Yeah, because he's Hibiki's lover. Tadoko stops herself and makes a bitter face. Her line of sight is focused on this morning's paper. This is exactly that.
宝生元忠は報道に対しての影響力を有している。そして、下世話な噂というのは流れてしまえばその時点で。
存じております。否定は常に逆効果。無視をするしかないものと。
ほう。
Feeling unexpected at this. I remember, speaking of which, Hataroku's previous engineer was a woman. That female engineer may have been fed up with rumors of that sort.
だから、兄さんには決して勝てません。というか、木崎先輩たちは。
She closes her eyes, then opens them again. I hear her swallow. Siri, fuck off. Hibiki wets her lips, and then finally speaks the following words.
兄さんを候補に立てさせるよう、誘導してるんだと思います。
Correct.
だから、向こうの思うつぼ。
That's why resigning is also playing into their hands.
そこまで準備し、そこまで仕掛けるものですか。
Hataroku's disgusted tone has a tinge of being impressed.
だろうな。ポーレットも言っていたが、僕たちは、すでにして選挙戦の中にあるのだ。
勝てる環境を整えて、こちらに開戦を強いてきた。こちらはそれでは、いかに応戦するのでしょうか。
This question came not from Paulette or me, but from Hataroku. The person she asks is always the same. It's a very relaxed voice. She answers.
油断があるなら、つくのが定石。勝てる環境が整った思うとるなら、そら油断よね。
Wait. In a very relaxed voice. It's Makoto. She never says anything suggestively. In that case, it's now a matter of how to fight that carelessness.
辞任撤回っていうのは。
無理だろう。それこそ自利品になるだけだ。
典型的なレームダックに陥ってしまうだけやけんね。レームダックって何ですか？
政治的な影響力を失ってなお在位している政治家のこと。議会の混乱を生んでしまう原因になって良くないの。
良くないならポーレットレームダックになっちゃダメですね。
Thank you, Rana. Rana understands things in a simple and direct way.
なら、赤い宮司さんはどうですか？あの人、鉄道の味方ですよ。
ほ
う。That simple mindset shines a light on our blind spots.
面白いな。影響力を行使するのを嫌う人のようだが、もし出馬さえしてもらえたなら。
ダメ。それでも風は向こうに吹き寄るやろうね。大人の男と小娘の喧嘩の形にされてしまいよるけん。
I mean, like, there's only one person who they can pick, isn't there? It's gonna be fucking Hibiki. Like, that's literally the only place they're going, because no other candidate works outside of Hibiki. Even though she's supposed to be too young, you know, she's 18, right? She's a character with a route. With H scenes, she has to be 18. Yeah. So, Hibiki for president. I mean, mayor.
あ
Makoto teaches us in her own way. This, when she's talking about, refers to a very irresponsible decision of the people. A very irresponsible decision of the people making said decision on the spot.
金は向こう、人はこちらの1対1であるというのに。
I cannot find the answer to how to blow the wind.
私、
What did I say? Hibiki is looking up. He's looking straight at Makoto.
私が立候補したら。あ、なるほど。確かに響きでしたら。レイナ、すごくいいと思います。響さんが市長さんなら安心ですよ。
Everyone expresses their approval. It's true that Hibiki is part of Ohito, that and is well known. Okay, yeah. She's good at athletics and academics, competent and a hard worker, however.
風は互角。
Makoto stares back at Hibiki. Her usual soft smile is gone and is replaced with an almost scarily serious expression.
つまり、がっぷり4つの選挙になるけ。覚悟の強さが勝負の分かれ目になるやろうね。
Essentially, the only difference between Hibiki getting elected and Sotetsu getting elected is the fact that Sotetsu is a guy. Right? That's like the only difference. Because if Sotetsu is the candidate, then people will be like, oh, he and Paulette have a thing for each other or whatever the fuck. But apparently the same thing doesn't happen with Hibiki. And then she asks, just like how she usually does to Hibiki. She already knows the answer, but she provides hints so we can realize it ourselves.
市長になるため、絵筆を置くほど強い覚悟を、今ひーちゃんは持ちうるや。てつ様、ブレーキ、まだ。
Hatodoku is already asleep. I can't sleep at all. I'm simply wasting time right now. Hibiki isn't coming. In that case, why can't a decision be made? My usual self would have already begun to move, find the answer, and be sound asleep by now.
そうてつ様、思い切りよく。
You must be dreaming of the training. If Railords dream like we do.
そうだな、86。
It's heaviest when you're at rest, and the scariest. But staying afraid is simply, will simply waste the steam.
思い切りよく行くしかない。急加速などしようと思ってもできんのだから。
When I say it out loud, my body relaxes. I feel so much lighter, as if my prior mulling were all a lie.
よし。
I go up the stairs and knock on the door. How many years has it been?
ニーニ
よくわかったな。僕だと。
ーわかってない。待っとっただけ。
The door opens. Hibiki's room smells exactly how it did long ago.
ニーニーと話したかったけん。
Another CG.
僕もだ。
A cushion. The same one I sat in years ago. Hibiki hands it over like it's second nature.
立候補云々の話だが。
That's why I can speak, just like how I was able to candidly in the past with the young Hibiki.
無理をしているのではないかと思ってな。
選挙は戦争。ポーレットさんも言うとったけんね。そんな無理せんと勝てんと思うし。
前にも言ったか。今回の件。
責任を取ろうなんて思うとらんよ。
She gets ahead of me. It makes me realize something. From the very beginning, Hibiki was prepared. It was Hibiki who suggested seeking Makota's help. Knowing her determination, that's why I have to ask her.
本当に響は F で置けるのか。
I know she hates to be compared to Makoto. She hates more than anything to be called Makoto's sister. That's why Hibiki drew. By drawing, Hibiki was able to escape from that.
たった一期。たった4年のことやもん。
Yeah, just 4 years. No big deal. Resting one day will delay you for 3, Hibiki says. That every day as she continues to draw. Resting one day will delay you for 3. Hibiki says that every day as she continues to draw. Okay. 4 years. He knows exactly how long of a period that is.
その間、目と心と磨けばよかとよ。
目と心？
市長にならなきゃ見えない景色や、市長にならなきゃ知れんこと、きっとあるもん。
それは確かに、そうではあろうが。
そうやけん、4年と1日したら、その日の私、今の私には絶対書けえば書くけん。
そうか。
Hibiki says that it will connect to the future. She shows her determination by saying she will use those 4 years. Naturally, I feel gratitude, and like she's I feel gratitude and like she's admirable. But because I do, a variety of doubts rise up within me.
しかし、なぜだ？なぜそこまでを？響はエアクラ工場誘致に賛成していただろう。
あれは、アヒルなんかちゃんと同じばい。キサキ先輩のお尻ばー見て、ひょこひょこついとっただけのことやもん。
ああ。
Yeah, now that she wants to fuck Sotetsu, she wants to support him instead. He was, in a way, dependent on her, just like how Hibiki was on me in the past. He admits that, then Hibiki...
ニーニーのお尻、また追っかけよう言うのとも違うよ。
Are you sure? My apprehension must have shown in my face. Hibiki says that in a pitiful way, but she tells me directly. She's gonna be like, I want to follow alongside you instead.
自分の足で立って歩けるように、私、はよなりたいけん。
Okay, that's better.
いや、響、
If you know you are inexperienced, if you understand that yourself, at the very least, you can see yourself objectively.
お前はすでに一人で立って歩いているさ。
A small smile. Then Hibiki takes a deep breath.
だとしても、こんな頼りない歩みじゃなくて。
Hibiki says that while standing up. While I still sit on the cushion, Hibiki stands up to reach her hand to me.
なりたいんです。兄さんと同じ歩幅で歩けるように。そして時には、兄さんの手だって引ける。大人の女に。
You mean that literally or figuratively? I suddenly feel an overwhelming sense of emotion. Hibiki's smell in Hibiki's room. It's completely different from the past. It has the same sweet smell like I remember. But it's not the kind of smell that makes me want to go crazy. It wasn't the kind of smell that stirs my heart and burns with passion.
私はいい子の妹ですから。兄さんの目的を叶えるために力になって当然です。
Hibiki's voice saves me, like a cool breeze blowing away the heat.
いや、僕の目的のためというのなら。
そういう風に思ってたんです。でも、木崎先輩も恩人で、私の居場所を作ってくれて。
Past tense. Hibiki's talking about herself.
それで私、兄さんと木崎先輩の板挟みで、立ち位置が難しくて、だから、フラフラしちゃってて。
ああ。
I finally understand what Hibiki means when she says to stand and walk.
だから、一旦ゼロにして、賛成でも反対でもなく、私、自分で考えます。
教わるではなく、知りたいのだな。
I finally understand what sort of determination Hibiki has when she tells me this, as she polishes her eyes and heart.
そうです、兄さん。私は自分で、誰かの見つけた答えじゃなく、自分自身の答えをきっと。
いい覚悟だ。僕は響に味方する。
あ。
I take Hibiki's hand and stand up. Because of our difference in height, I look down on her. But today, Hibiki feels a bit more mature.
選挙戦は厳しくなるぞ。
そうですよね。ポーレットさんの支持者さん、みんな工場誘致反対で結束してますもんね。
ああ。
Then we have to take the wind and make it blow even harder. Hibiki can do that. I know for sure she can.
だから私は隠さずみんなに伝えます。自分の迷いを、悩みを、学びを、全部そのまま。
そうだな。
That's the wish. That's the way it should be. Hibiki looks at the same thing I am. She's aiming for the unaffiliated voter by urging them for their decision. It's leading to the future of Ohitoyo. It'll lead to the future of Ohitoyo.
そうして響が得る結論が工場誘致賛成であるなら、その時は堂々と僕と戦おう。
そっか。それも兄さんと対等になれる道ですね。
うん。それでも僕は響の味方だ。全力でお前を叩き潰して、泣き出すお前を慰めてやろ
う。じゃあ、兄さんお残しちゃったら、私が慰めてあげますね。
Hibiki giggles a little, and then makes an exclamation before her cheeks turn red.
兄さんのこと、慰めて。
Hibiki's smell becomes stronger. I can hear my own heartbeat. What?
ですね、兄さん。
うん。
私、 一人で歩きますけど、ちゃんと大人になりますけど。
Yeah, so it's okay to date her now, right? Hibiki inches closer to me. I get the feeling that my own temperature is rising. Or perhaps because Hibiki is so close to me, her heat is transferring to me.
今日はまだ私甘えっ子の響ですから。だから勇気の出るおまじない欲しいんです。
なんだ。本当に甘えっ子だな。
Okay, maybe don't call her a baby. I was wondering what she would ask. A charm? That's adorable. I reach out to pat her on the head, but she grabs it with both hands.
ん？
これじゃないです。兄さん、少ししゃがんでください。
Well,
こうか。
there it is. Hibiki's face zooms in, and I feel her lips graze our lips graze each other. A delayed heat that's slightly wet.
私もう寝るけ。おやすみ、
おう。
She chases me out of the room. I'm now alone in the hallway, but I can feel her lips.
確かにこれは勇気が出るかもしれないな。
Let me embrace this feeling. When I wake up, what's waiting for us is the battlefield in the name of an election. Listen, she's been wanting that since the start of her route, okay? Maitetsu.
それでね、くまくま、またうちのお酒、品評会で一等取ったばい。
I was not expecting younger Hibiki. But, yeah. I think I'll end it off there for today. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. It's a good place to end it off too. If you enjoyed, a follow would be appreciated. And if you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. I thought they were just gonna go straight into the debating, but I guess they're doing some flashback before they get into it. But yeah. Tomorrow I will be playing more Amazing Grace. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.